Welcome to another video from Gweilo 60. Some people become lifers in China, and why this happens, I have no idea. Being a lifer in China. I'm going on 17 years now in Nanning. I came to Nanning first because I met my wife in Nanning back in 2003, August 1st of 2003. Yes, and it's been a bumpy ride, and it's been a smooth ride, and I've enjoyed it immensely. It's opened up my eyes to a different world, actually a number of different worlds, because I've traveled all over Southeast Asia. And I've traveled all over China too, and we're doing immigration work. We were from one end of this country to the other. So people say, you haven't seen all over China, you're just generalizing. Well, I'm generalizing with about 8 years of experience of traveling from Taishan to Lijiang to Beijing to Hong Kong to frickin' Taishan, Kaiping, to you friggin' name it. I've been to Nanning, Beihai, I've been to Hainan Island, I've been Kunming, and I've actually even been to Shangri-La. Yes, Shangri-La is in China, Upper Yunnan province. So anyway, the idea that you become a lifer, and you can just about tell when people come over here. I see lots of people come over. They come over and they start telling people that they're fighter pilot in the American Marines, or they say I'm a millionaire businessman from wherever. Yeah, you see, these people very seldom, because they're living a fantasy, they very seldom stay very long because they're living a fantasy. The ones that are grounded, the ones that like Dave used to work for Walmart. You know, me, I used to run my own company. I don't know. There's so many to speak of. But as I say, I started out in Nanning, then I went down to Beihai and I bought a place, thinking I like to be by the sea. Yeah, see, I started my career in working when I joined the Canadian Navy back in 1977. Yeah, so I was traveling the world back 40 years ago, 2 years ago. Yes, 42 years ago, and I never lost that travel bug, which is sort of nice. Then my wife said, "No, I don't want to live in Beihai anymore." And I said, "What? Are you crazy? This is beautiful. Let's seafood, the fresh air, the ocean breeze." No, I want to move back to Nanning. So we sold the place in Beihai and moved back to Nanning. I knew a lot of people down in Beihai, Scots and British and Australians. And see, Beihai was the end of the road. So if you wanted to see the people that wanted to get lost in China, you go to Beihai, and those are the people that wanted to get lost in China. And you bring up Nanning and they go, "Oh no, Nanning's got too many people, Nanning is this, Nanning is that." Well, after being in Nanning for the last, I don't know, 15 years, first 2 years in Beihai and the last 15 years here in Nanning, Nanning is a better place. Definitely is a better place. I enjoy it more here than I did in Beihai. Why? Because there's more things to do. The food is amazing. But back to this, lifers in China. Well, and meeting the people that sort of don't fit in. They come as school teachers, most of them, and they bitch and complain. "I can't eat that." Well, you didn't even put it in your mouth. How do you know? Well, it's a pig's ear. Yeah, pig's ears are crunchy and the spices are good. They taste great. Well, this beer is terrible. Well, I have to agree. The beer is terrible. And their moonshine, I mean their rice wine, I mean their baijiu is terrible. Up until Tango Pei's wedding about 2 weeks ago, I had some baijiu that was sort of like halfway between moonshine and ouzo. And it was pretty damn good. I enjoyed it. But that's one in just about 17 years that I've tasted. So yeah, but you see, they always find an excuse that they don't like this or don't like that, where the people that become lifers just accept the world that they've been sort of thrust into. A lot of these lifers have a wife here, a girlfriend here. Some of them are older and they can't get their wife or girlfriend, for that matter, into their own country. Financial hurdles and whatever, it really doesn't matter. So they decide to stay here in China and do the best with what they're given. Most everybody that I know that's a lifer in China from a foreign country owns their own home here. They embrace the fun that they can have, the traveling through Southeast Asia that is dirt cheap. Yeah, I think on January the 3rd we're off to Kuala Lumpur, or KL, because somebody said that I pronounce it wrong. So they said, until you learn how to pronounce it properly, just say KL. Okay, KL. That's my Canadian accent, like bite me. Anyway, so we're gonna travel to KL here, I think on January 3rd. But the idea is that there's so much opportunity here for a foreigner, retired or working, that you can't get in your own country. You're not taxed to death. Everything, you don't have to go and pay a 15% tip on an overpriced meal in Nanning. The meal is underpriced and there is no tipping on it. The idea that you're paying $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a year to keep your house, because if you don't, the government will come and take it away from you because you need to pay your property taxes, boy. And if you've got a mortgage on that house, you need insurance on that property, because if you don't, they won't give you a mortgage on your house. If you know, there's all of these rules and regulations where over here it's sort of the Wild West, the Wild East. The Wild West of the United States back in the day is the Wild East of China today. It's cool, it's neat, it's amazing. And then you've got, look at these ladies over here, they're learning a new dance. I think it's weird, but I think it's good too, because they're staying active. They've got friends. They're not sitting at home in front of a television set. There's so many different reasons why I enjoy China and became a lifer that I can't put it into just one video. Some of the old boys, and when I started coming to China back in 2003, there was way more old boys, but China was a lot cheaper back then too. They come over with a pension. And they live like dogs in their own country because everything's so damn expensive. And as I say, you get taxed and you got a tip and you got, so instead of going out 3-4 nights a week, you can maybe go out once every couple of weeks or once a week to a regular restaurant. But here, back in 2003, you can go out every night if you wanted to, and it's still cheap. Your rent is cheap because a lot of these old boys rented. Life was just better. You could live better with your pension check. Those days ended about 2010, 2011, and everything got a little bit more expensive here in China. So those lifers went to Thailand, went to Cambodia, ended up in the Philippines, places that are way cheaper than China now. The ones that stayed and became the lifers like me are the ones that had ties here that couldn't be broken, or had cash in their jeans where the difference in cost was not really a deterrent to staying in a place where you enjoyed your life. And I enjoy my life here. Kids, they're special. The food here, like, I've eaten Filipino food. I've been to Cambodia and Thailand. Thai food, come on now. I've been to Japan and Singapore. Oh, but Singapore food, my God, it's good. It's from all over the world. It's freaking amazing. Singapore, if you ever get a chance to go to Singapore, it is an amazing place. But Japanese, boring. I'm telling you, it's a clean place. It's got culture. It's got all of these things that people look for, but it's also really boring, and the food is boring too. So although I enjoyed it for a short time period, I couldn't do that for 10 years. Well, I could, but I'd be jumping over to China all the time just to have fun. But in China, there's always something going on. This place goes 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. There's always something going on. The food is different. We've got like 100,000 restaurants in Nanning City alone. So like you're never... I know in Prince Albert, Saskatchewan, there was like 3 good restaurants in the whole town. So you'd get sick of that pretty easy. So why... Do you want to go out? No, I don't want to go out. Why? Because we ate there yesterday or 3 days ago. And... it's just one of those things where in China, you've seen my eating videos. It's the food here is amazing. Why am I a lifer in China? Because this is where I've decided that I'm happier. I'm not happy in Canada. I'm not happy in the States. I'm not happy anywhere but in Nanning, China. You could get into some polluted area in Guangdong province where, no, I don't think so. You could get into a place like Beijing or Shanghai. No, I don't think so. You could get into, rural China. Okay, it's okay for a little while, but boy, it should get boring real quick because chewing on a piece of straw and drinking baijiu isn't what I call fun for more than a day or 2 or 3, and I get enough of that at grave sweeping time in April. So what makes a person a lifer in China? The China experience. What makes a person not a lifer in China? A bad attitude, bringing your beliefs and understanding of the world from your home country to a place like China and thinking everything is going to be similar or the same. I can't eat that. Barbecue duck heads? Oh, yeah, I couldn't eat that to begin with either. I learned over time. Every time I went to China when I was, younger, and I say, yeah, I'm going to retire in China. And my dad would say when I got back, he said, are you going to retire in China? I say, hell no. I couldn't handle it. And over time, things changed where I ended up being that lifer in China that I didn't think I would ever be. So maybe it's a learned experience. Maybe it's just a little bit of crazy, because everybody that I know that lives in China for a long time is basically nuts, or loco. Do they fit in at home? The ones I hang out with do. There's a lot of really weird characters over here that they don't fit in at home. So they come to China and they think they're going to fit in here. Doesn't work very good for them. So when they get over here, they don't fit in and they sort of congregate together in these weird groups of people. Yeah. And some of them stay for years. Some of them are lifers in China because they can't afford to go anywhere else. They can't understand how to go back to their own country. And that's one of my problems too. When I went back, when Wei Feng got sick, when I went back to Canada, I didn't fit in. And I don't think I'll ever fit in back there the way I did before I came to China in 2014 when we decided to come to China for full-time life. Yeah, so I guess you're looking at a lifer in China. Oh well, could be worse. I could be a lifer in like Bangladesh or the Congo, Zimbabwe, the Northwest Territories. Yeah, exactly. So anyway, that's another video from Gweilo 60. If you like this video, as always, like, comment, subscribe, and push that share button. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit the bell, and don't forget to check your subscribe button. And John, yes, I'm back in your daughter's park. Hope you appreciate it. Until next time, bye now.